Order Fractions, Chapter 12, Lesson 5, pages 394, 395. In this lesson, we will take different situations to order the fractions. Let's start with the first one. Order the fractions with the same denominator but different numerators. Let's see an example. When fractions have the same denominator, just order them up by the numerator. Let's see. Put fractions in order. You have here 7/10, 4/10, and 8/10. As you see, these three fractions have the same denominator. It's 10. But they have different numerators, 7, 4, and 8. We will use here the way of drawing strips. Use fraction strips to compare. This is for 7/10. Here we have 4/10, and this is 8/10. Now, by looking to the drawing, you can directly see which one is the greatest and which one is the least. Now look at the numerator and put it in order. Let's order here from greatest to least, and here from least to greatest. Here, because the denominators are the same, you can directly order them without the drawing. But to be more sure, we draw. The other situation is comparing fractions with the same numerator but different denominators. Let's see. Put these fractions in order. You have 1/2, 1/8, and then 1/4. As you see, all of them have the same numerators, 1, 1, 1. And the denominators here are different. Also, in this situation, you can make a model, draw strips for each fraction. Here we have 1/2, 1/8, and then 1/4. Now, look at the colored parts. You can now clearly see the greatest one and the least one. Here from greatest to least, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8. Then from least to greatest, 1/8, 1/4, and 1/2. Also in this situation, you can directly order the fractions. Why? Because the numerators are the same. The last situation is when the fractions have different denominators and different numerators. Let's see here this example. We will use here, we have here 9/10, 1/2, and 1/5. As you see, different denominators and different numerators. Draw strip for each fraction, then look at the colored parts so you can order from greatest to least, then from least to greatest. As you see here. So again, if the denominators and the numerators are different, this is here the first way that you draw the strips. And the other way, you cannot order them directly like the other situations before. No, I will teach you a way to order them. Here, this is the other way to compare the fractions with different denominators and different numerators also. Using the equivalent fractions. We will go back to the previous lesson that we studied about equivalent fractions. Do you remember how can we make the fractions equal? Let's see. Put these fractions in order. You have here 1/2, 3/8, and 1/4. As you see, different numerators with different denominators. Here we will not draw, let's use the other way. Follow these steps. First, find the biggest denominator. Look at these fractions. Which one has or which one is the greatest denominator? Yes, great. It's 8. Then the next step, write the equivalent fractions. Here, as you see, 3/8 is the greatest fraction, so we will not change it. We will write the equivalent fractions for 1/2 and 1/4. Let's look. What can we multiply 2 to make it 8? And what we can multiply 4 with to make it 8. Let's start with 1/2. To make the equivalent fraction for 1/2, we will multiply 2 with, yes, great, we will multiply it with 4. 2 multiply 4 equals 8. And sure, we will multiply the both parts of the fraction. We will multiply 1 with 4, so it equals 4, and then 2 with 4 equals 8. The next step, let's make the equivalent fraction for 1/4. Here, you multiply 4 with 2, it will equal 8. So let's multiply the two parts of the fraction by 2. 1 multiply 2 equals 2. 4 multiply 2 equals 8. As you see here, 2/8, and we have also 4/8, and we already have 3/8. Now we can have equal denominators. Now you can order them directly. So the new fractions that we got, 1/2, it becomes 4/8. 3/8, it's the same, we did not change it. And 1/4, it becomes 2/8. Now let's order the fraction. Now the denominators are the same, so order the numerators. Let's see here from greatest to least. You have 4/8, 3/8, and 2/8. But I want you to write the original fraction for each one. 4/8, it was 1/2. 3/8 did not change, and 2/8 it was 1/4. Now we ordered them. If we want to order from least to greatest, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. And then we should write the original fraction for each one. 2/8 it was 1/4, 3/8 the same, did not change, and 4/8 is 1/2. I just wrote for you to see the steps how you solve them directly in this way. As you see here, I have 1/2, 5/6, and 2/3. Let's see which one is the greatest denominator. It's 6. So I will keep 5/6 the same. I will not change it. I will only change 1/2 and 2/3. Think about What are the numbers that you will multiply to make these denominators equal? 2, you will multiply it with 3, so it equals 6. And don't forget to multiply also the numerator. 1 multiply 3 equals 3. So here I have the equivalent fraction for 1/2. It's 3/6. Then we said 5/6, we will not change it. Let's go to 2/3. What multiply 3 equals 6? Yes, it's 2. 3 multiply 2 equals 6, and the numerator 2 multiply 2 equals 4. Now we have equal denominators. Now the denominators are the same. All of them are 6. Now you can order. Put new fractions in order from greatest to least. Here are the fractions from greatest to least. And then write the original fractions. Yes, as you see here, 5/6, it was the same, we did not change it. 4/6, it was 2/3, and 3/6, it was 1/2. Now to order them in the other way, also put the new fractions in order from least to greatest. Then write the original fraction for each one. This is our lesson today. I hope that it was clear. You have to practice, so you be sure that you understood. Here is the homework page for today. It's page 148 from 1 to 9. And later on, in the next day, you will have from 10 to 18. So this is the answer key of the homework of today from 1 to 9. Good luck.